Good evening and welcome to Sun Valley High School Jim Buggy Memorial Field, the site of tonight's Game 4 of the Delco League Semifinals between Wayne and Aston Valley. Wayne a 2-1 lead, but Aston Valley, the frisky underdog, with a chance to tie the series tonight at home and force a decisive Game 5. We'll have all the action for you here tonight. On the mound for Aston Valley in this do-or-die Game 4 for the Knights, it's left-hander Roman Tazi. The lineup he will face for Wayne is center fielder Alden Mathis leading off. The left fielder Matt Briner will bat second. Nate Sides plays shortstop. He'll bat third. Nick Mullen, the second baseman, hits fourth. Stephen Wells, the designated hitter, hitting fifth. Luke Zimmerman at first base will bat sixth. Drew Van Horn, the right fielder, bats seventh. Owen Mathis at third base hits eighth. And batting ninth is the catcher Matt Kane. Just about to get underway. Mathis steps in, bats from the left side. Tazi winds. His first pitch is in for a called strike, and we're underway at 5:45 p.m. here on the East Coast. He'll want a breaking ball in for a strike. These teams met on Monday in Game 1. It was a 5-2 win for Wayne. All the runs scored in the same inning. That bounces outside. Then in Tuesday's Game 2, suspended after 9 innings at 4-4. Mathis fouls that one off, 1-2 the count. Suspended at 4-4 after 9 innings. The teams came back yesterday prior to Game 3. Finished it off. Aston Valley won in the top of the 12th to get a 5-4 win before Wayne came away with a win after scoring 3 in the top of the 7th to win yesterday's game 5-3 as Mathis takes high 2-2. So that's where we stand. 3 tight ball games, 5 runs winning all 3 of them. Fouled back. Here at Buggy Field, the best broadcast post in the Delco League. By far. The press box here up at Sun Valley, up behind home plate. Mathis just gets a piece. And he stays alive. Matt Briner on deck. Wayne, the top seed. 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws on the year, both against Drexel Hill. That pitch is over Mathis's head. The loss came to Upper Darby. Upper Darby last night pounded Drexel Hill 15-7 to sweep that semifinal series. They're into the finals for the 3rd straight year, and they await the winner of this series. That one is popped up on the infield. Coming in on it is the 3rd baseman, Sean Haught. And he makes the catch. There's one away. Upper Darby routed Drexel Hill 13-1 in Game 1. Their Game 2 also suspended at 4-4 after 6 innings. They came back on Wednesday, and Upper Darby won it after Drexel Hill had scored 1 in the top of the 9th. Upper Darby with 2. A walk-off hit by Matt Query ended that one as Matt Briner steps in and takes a called strike. And then last night at Monsignor Bonner, a 15-7 rout. The Ducks took a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st. The Blue Sox answered with 7 in the 2nd. And there's one poke just over the diving shortstop, Jacob Cantor, into left field. Matt Briner is aboard with a single. So I'll bring up Nate Sides. Sides went 5 for 5 in Game 2. Can't imagine many guys have ever gone 5 for 5 in a Delco League game. Especially with innings usually ending at 7. Sides takes ball 1. And then generally, if you go 5 for 5, your team generally doesn't lose that ball game. That's what happened to Wayne in Game 2 on Tuesday and last night, a called strike 1-1. That one's hit out towards second. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. A couple of soft humpback line drives have going just over the head of infielders and beat oncoming outfielders. And with that, Wayne has 2 aboard with 1 out. And that'll bring up Nick Mullen. Mullen bats from the right side after a couple of lefties to start. Sides and Mullen, the right-handers. First pitch swinging right back to Tazi. He's going to throw to second for 1. They get the force out. No, they don't. The second baseman, Reed, wasn't on the base. He had to shuffle step, and Sides beats him. So that'll be a fielder's choice for Mullen, but everybody's safe. Now it's bases loaded for Stephen Wells. He'll take a called strike. A little bit of small ball here for Wayne as they try to take the early lead. The visiting team has taken the lead in all 3 of these games. As Wells swings at an off-speed pitch. 0-2. Another left-handed batter at the plate in Wells. Lefty Luke Zimmerman waiting on deck. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and Tazi has his first strikeout, 2 down here in the first. Zimmerman steps in against the left-hander Tazi. First pitch fouls it off behind the third base dugout. Aston Valley inhabiting that dugout. Wayne, visiting team, in the first base dugout. Drew Van Horn, another left-handed hitter on deck. Usually you'll see a team stack its lineup with right-handers against a lefty, but a lot of lefties batting for Wayne as Zimmerman fouls another one off down the third base line. I think 2 count to Zimmerman, 2 down, bases loaded here in the first. Hit right back up the middle, past Cantor into center field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes Sides. He will score. A 2-run single for Luke Zimmerman. And a 2-0 lead for Wayne here in the top half of the first. Mullen will go to second, and he'll stay there. Third hit of the inning. Third single of the inning for Wayne. That brings in the first 2 runs of the ball game. I'll bring up Drew Van Horn. First and second, 2 outs. This is outside. Tazi's pitch popped up. It's in foul territory. That's going to get out of play. 1-1. Quickly around the infield for Aston. Behind the plate, Zach Stearns at first base, Cooper Root. Second base, Christian Reed, Jacob Cantor at short. Sean Haught at third, and in left center and right, Adam Tomer, Vinny Pareto, and Sean Edavane. Now Tazi spins. Mullen back safely to second, nobody covering. Tazi's pitch popped up. Reed is under it out at second. He will squeeze it on the infield dirt. That will retire the side, but 3 singles, a fielder's choice where nobody is retired, leads to 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left on base. We're through a half inning. It's Aston Valley, or it's Wayne 2 rather. Aston Valley coming to bat. You're listening to the Delco League Semifinals on DelcoLeague.com. Home half of the first inning, Wayne on top of Aston Valley 2-0 here in Game 4 of the Delco League Semifinals. Wayne throwing youngster Alex Pock out on the mound. Left-hander, Strathaven product. His head coach at Strathaven, Brian Feely, his manager here at Wayne. He is throwing to catcher Matt Kane. And they will face an Aston Valley order led off by center fielder Vinny Proietto. Third baseman Sean Haught bats second. Cooper Root bats third at first base. Right fielder Sean Edevane will hit fourth. Batting fifth, the catcher Zach Stearns. Christian Reed's at second. He'll bat sixth. Adam Tomer out in left. He'll bat seventh. Jacob Cantor, the shortstop, bats eighth. And designated hitter Dylan Everly in the 9-hole against the youngster Pock. The lefty, his first pitch inside to Proietto, 1-0. Couple of lefties on the mound tonight. Wayne got to Tazi early. And Pock will try to hold that lead as that's inside and off the mitt of Kane, and maybe got a piece of the umpire. So 2-0 the count. I mentioned Pock and Kane over at first base. Luke Zimmerman at second, Nick Mullen, Owen Mathis at third, Nate Signs at short. That one's hit right back up the box and bounces over Pock and into center field. Vinny Proietto aboard with a leadoff single, and if you've seen Aston Valley at all this year, you know what Vinny Proietto is thinking right here. He is thinking, at what pitch am I going to try to head to second base? The rest of the Wayne defense, Matt Breiner's in left field, Alden Mathis in center, and Drew Van Horn in right. First pitch swing is Haught on the ground to third. They throw to second in time for one. Back to first, not in time for the double play. A little surprised, to be honest, that Haught did not give Proietto an opportunity to try to steal. So one down for Cooper Root. Pock from the stretch. This is outside. Root drove in a run in Game 1 in this series. Pock's throw over to first. Haught back standing. Pitches upstairs, 2-0 the count to Root. It's that pitch in the air, out to no man's land and shallow left, but Breiner comes on. He gets there before Sides and Mathis. They'll make the catch, 2 down. Sean Edevane will step in. 3 of the first 4 hitters for Aston Valley batting from the left side. On the ground, that's going to get through that hole, but it's stopped by Mullen, but just a little too deep. Going to call that an infield single for Edevane. Haught goes to second. Mullen actually did a really good job to get over and stop that ball from getting all the way into the outfield. It intercepted just on the grass. Surely kept Haught from going to third. That'll bring up Zach Stearns. Takes the first pitch from Pock on the inside corner. Christian Reed waiting on deck. That one's hit to second. Mullen to his left, throw to first. Caught by Zimmerman, that'll retire the side. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, they leave 2 through the first full inning of this one. It's Wayne 2, Aston Valley 0. Owen Mathis leads off the top half of the second. Takes a called strike. 2-0 Wayne on top of Aston Valley here in Game 4. At Buggy Field, Roman Tanzi back on the mound for Aston Valley. Misses just outside. It'll be Mathis, Matt Cain, and then Alden Mathis. 8-9-1 due up here in the second. The one that swung on and fouled off down the right field line. Swung on and missed. And Mathis down on strikes for out number 1. Mathis the third in the line of Mathises to play for Wayne. Older brother Cam, Villanova product. Alden out in center field tonight for Wayne. Graduate of Richmond, headed to Clemson for a grad year as Matt Cain takes up and in. Upstairs, 2-0. Takes a called strike. That one is on the ground. Tazi picks it up. He gets to the first just in time. Ball hit on the grass here. A slow surface at Buggy Field. And it was hit kind of in a little bit of a no man's land. Tazi the one to field it. Has to collect himself and get the ball over to first, but he does for out number 2. And that'll bring Alden Mathis to the plate. Popped out his first time up. Takes ball 1. Mentioned Mathis recently graduating from Richmond. His final game for the Spiders as he rips one out into right field for a base hit. His final game for the Spiders came in the Atlantic 10 tournament as Richmond was eliminated down in Virginia by St. Joe's. The first baseman for the Hawks that day, today's first baseman for Wayne, Luke Zimmerman. But I'm sure Alden Mathis is doing just fine, and he'll be at Clemson next year in the ACC as Matt Briner takes a called strike. He singled and scored. Presumably Clemson will still be in the ACC next year. The way things are going with college sports this week, impossible to say. Throw over to first, Mathis back safely. Nate Sides on deck. Briner singled to left, came around to score on the 2-run single by Zimmerman. Pops that one foul. Tazi from the stretch comes home. Low and away. Ball, 2 strikes to the count. It's in the dirt. Now the count goes to 2-2. One's low, gets away from the catcher Stearns. But Mathis was already on his way back to first.
3-2. 3 ball, 2 strikes.
So the count goes full to Matt Briner, lefty batting against the lefty Tazi. Throws over to first. Runner goes, pitch is hit foul. Townsy set. Mathis takes off. Briner swings and misses. 2 strikeouts in the inning. For Townsy, that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. Through 1.5. Wayne leads it 2-0. Home half of the 2nd inning. Alex Pock back on the mound for Wayne. Wayne leads it 2-0 here in the 2nd. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Knights. Christian Reed, Adam Tomer, Jacob Cantor. Reed, another left-handed hitter. Steps in. First pitch from Pock. Down the middle but low, 1-0. The lefty hitting Tomer waiting on deck. That one's on the inside corner, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That one is ripped out towards center, and that will drop in front of Alden Mathis. So another leadoff base hit for the Knights. Already their 3rd of the game. We'll see if they can turn it into anything. As Tomer steps in. Playing out in left field. Pock eyes the runner, he comes home with it. Checks a swing, it's outside, 1-0. On the ground to 3rd. Mathis over to 2nd for 1, back to 1st, just in time. Nick Zimmerman just tall enough to get that one out of the air, get the double play, 2 down. Hold around the horn, 5-4-3 double play. They just get Cantor by a step, and that'll bring up Jacob Cantor. They get Tomer by a step, rather. Cantor takes strike 1. Should he get aboard, he'll be followed by Dylan Everly, the designated hitter. That one is hit out in the air towards left center. That one will drop between Briner and Mathis, so a 2-out hit for Cantor. Everly swings and misses at the first pitch. Mentioned another lefty. A lot of lefties in the lineup for both teams, despite the left-handers on the mound. Now called strike. So 0-2. Poked out towards left, that'll drop in front of Briner, and then it's going to kick off his shins, but Cantor will stay at 2nd, so now Once again, 2 aboard for the Knights. I'm going to turn the lineup over. Vinny Pareto steps in. Question is, will they be able to do anything with it? Bach checks the runner at second. Comes home, first pitch. Pareto misses just outside. Or rather, the pitch to Pareto misses outside. And it's high, 2-0. Pareto extends the inning. Sean Haunt waits on deck. And Bach steps off. Outside, Kane tries to frame it. 3 balls and no strikes. Imagine Pareto taking all the way here. The pitch is outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Pareto. Or I will say probably the least dangerous situation you could walk Pareto is with the bases clogged in front of him. Unfortunately, that means that they're loaded now for Sean Haught. That'll bring Matt Kane and Nate Sides to the mound to have a chat with the youngster Bach. Nobody throwing yet in the bullpen for Wayne. You hate to put too much weight on a moment so early in the game, but with a 2-run deficit for the Knights here in the second inning, they got the bases loaded against the young lefty. This is a really good opportunity for Aston Valley to try to get on the board here in a do-or-die game 4. Haught takes inside, strike 1. I mentioned earlier, all 3 of these games have been won with 5 runs. Or if you scored 5 runs a game in the other series, you would have been swept. 1 up and away. Cooper Root on deck. Haught takes low, 2-1. Bach from the stretch. Gets that one over for a called strike. A lot of pitchers throw from the windup with the bases loaded as a minimal threat to run. Bach from the stretch turns, eyes the runner at third. Comes home to 2-2. Hit on the ground to second. This should be it for the inning. Mullen throws over to Zimmerman at first. He holds the bag, and that will retire the side. Aston Valley loads the bases. They've had 5 base runners through 2 innings, but they get no runs. They do it on 3 hits. No errors, and they're left loaded. Through 2. Wayne 2, Aston Valley nothing. Top of the third. Wayne on top, 2-0. Nate Sides, Nick Mullen, Stephen Wells due up for the defending champs, looking to return to the championship series and defend their title against the team they beat. Roman Tazi's pitch misses outside. The 1-0 swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Wayne topped Upper Darby in 5 last year. Upper Darby beat Aston Valley in 5 the year before. So we're going to have a recent series rematch. It's just a matter of who will be taking on the Blue Sox as Sides fouls it off. We expect the series will start on Monday, either at Devon Prep if Wayne wins this one, or Cardinal O'Hara if it's Aston Valley. Sides rips that one out into center field. A leadoff single, first leadoff base runner of the game for Wayne. 5th hit tonight. So that'll bring up Nick Mullen. Now a balk is called on Roman Tazi. I did not see what he did, so he deceived the runner in some way. As they say, you just can't be out there just balking. So runner goes to second, a called strike to Nick Mullen. Mullen hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. Swung on and tipped back off the cage. 0-2 to count. Breaking ball on the outside corner, a called third strike. Mullen goes down looking. 4th strikeout for Roman Tazi. 1 away. Stephen Wells, one of those previous strikeout victims, steps in. He's got a man in scoring position with 1 out. Tazi spins and throws. It's to the wrong side of second base, but Reed does a nice job to snare it. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-0. So on the inside corner, it just misses off the inside corner rather. So on the inside part of the batter's box, I meant to say. 2-0 the count to Wells. He'll be followed by Luke Zimmerman. Hit down the line. Will it be a fair ball? Drops in play. And then overrunning it is the right fielder, Edivane. That will allow Sides to score, make it a 3-0 ball game. That will be a single, RBI single, and an error for Sean Edivane that allows Stephen Wells to go to second base. So that brings up Zimmerman, who drove in the first 2 runs, takes ball 1. Fouls 1 back. 1-1 the count to the Wayne first baseman. Low and away. Takes that one downstairs. 3 balls and a strike to Luke Zimmerman. Drew Van Horn waiting on deck. That one's fisted out of play. Foul down the third baseline. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Zimmerman. Upstairs, Zimmerman takes a walk. First walk issued by Roman Tazi. The 8th base runner of the game for Wayne. There's 1 out in the 3rd. They've only got 3 of them across so far.
High ball.
First pitch, and Tazi catches the outside corner. Ruth, the first baseman, playing about a step in from the bag, not holding Zimmerman. Wells a big lead off of second. That pitch bounces off a home plate. The runners will move up a base. On the wild pitch. So 1-1 the count. That's it out towards left center field. That's going to be trouble. That is over the heads of the outfielders. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Stephen Wells trots home. Right behind him is Luke Zimmerman. A 2-run double for Drew Van Horn. It's a 5-0 ball game. Both of those runs earned to Tazi despite the error after the walk and the wild pitch. So 5 allowed for him thus far. 7th hit of the ball game. Now that one's on the ground by Owen Mathis over to short. Long throw, but he'll make the play. And Drew Van Horn will get to third base. With 2 outs for Matt Kane, the catcher steps in, 0 for 1 on the night. In the dirt. I see someone sitting in the Aston Valley bullpen in uniform, but not sure if that is a pitcher getting ready to get ready or a catcher waiting for someone to come out. No such presence in the Wayne bullpen as Kane fouls one back up off the fence that then lands on top of the third base dugout. A 58-footer from Tazi, blocked nicely by Stern. 2-1 the count. So now there's some movement headed out to the bullpen. Outside, 3-1. That one misses outside. Kane draws the walk. We're going to have a mound conversation now. Dylan Everly, the designated hitter, doubling as a pitching coach here. Out there talking to Tazi in the infield. So we're going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher Kane out at first base with 2 outs. And then we're going to have an intentional walk issued to Alden Mathis. So Mike Valente, last night's starting pitcher, threw a gem for Wayne. Complete game in the win in Game 3. In as a courtesy runner. And Alden Mathis with the intentional walk. Matt Briner steps in, first pitch, fouls it off. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the third for Briner. 9th man to bat for Wayne. Pitch in the dirt outside, running home is Van Horn. The runners are going to move up. It's now a 6-0 game. And it also eliminates any sort of force out advantage you might have earned with the intentional walk. Briner fouls that one off the fence right in front of our face. Up here, 1-2 the count. So we see the activity in the bullpen for Aston. That was over Briner's head. Score 6-0. Wayne breaking that 6-run plateau. First time it's happened in this series for either side. Out towards left center field. Coming on is the center fielder. He dives. He's not going to get it. Pareto almost had it. Instead, it's a 2-run double for Matt Briner. And Wayne has broken this one wide open in the third. They've batted around. They've scored 6 times. It's 8-0. And so Nate Sides will bat for the second time this inning. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. And he's got one in scoring position here. He takes ball 1. Looks like whoever was throwing in the Aston bullpen is ready. Or at least has stopped throwing. Lofted to right field. Edavane is over. He's under it. He makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But Wayne played 6 runs. They do it on 4 hits. They benefit from 3 walks in the inning. There was the 1 error. And 1 man left on base through 2.5. It's Wayne 8, Aston Valley nothing. Bottom of the third, Cooper Root takes inside. Ball one from Alex Pock. Wayne on top, 8-0. Called strike. Wayne trying to secure its spot in the Delco League Championship Series for the second consecutive year, the 5th time in 6 years. That's on the ground through the left side for a base hit. Sixth hit of the evening for Aston Valley. They haven't been able to cash in. They've left 5 on base through the first 2. So it brings up Sean Edevane, singled his first time up. First pitch swing, fouls it off. So 0-1 the count to the right fielder. Gets that one out towards left center field. Mathis is over. And he'll make the catch over his shoulder. One away for Zach Stearns. First pitch to Stearns is outside, 1-0. The Knights catcher 0 for 1, grounded out. Zedek Mullen at second base, his first time up. In the dirt. Kane does a good job to keep it in front of him, and Root, the runner at first, has no choice but to stay where he is. Luke Zimmerman holding him over there. The rest of the Wayne defense at double play depth. Called strike. The umpire, the pitch hit Stearns on the shoulder. The umpire saying that he leaned into it and told him to stay here. The Aston Valley dugout arguing that Stearns was in the box and therefore should be a hit by pitch if it's called a ball. 2-2. Stearns swings and fouls it off. Pox set the 2-2 outside. Stearns fouls it off. Count stays full. 1 down here in the third. Aston Valley looking for any sort of offensive production. 6 hits on the night, but 5 runners left on base through 2 innings. Now that pitch hit Stearns on the ankle. No doubt about it. And he's in a little bit of pain as he lumbers down to first base. I think that we're going to have a courtesy runner for Stearns. This will try to trot back to the dugout. He is in a fair amount of pain. As Jake Mole heads to take his place. First hit batter of the ball game. I think Stearns would rather have had the first one called because that second one hurt a heck of a lot more. So that'll bring up Christian Reed with 2 on and 1 out. Takes up and in. Looks like Cole Peichel He's down in the Wayne bullpen. Not sure if he's about to throw, but he's getting a drink. Swung on and missed, 1-1. He has that look of a guy who is waiting for someone to come throw with. And Mike Valenti and Corey Woodcock head down there. Valenti certainly not going to be pitching in this one after 7 innings last night. Outside, 2-1. Pot kicks on the inside corner. 2-2. Chopped off home plate, and that'll head foul down the first base line. So 2-2 the count. Tonight's weather very different from last Friday if you were listening to the last Aston Valley broadcast we had. It was a hot and steamy one at O'Hara. Tonight, Sun Valley a little bit cooler as Reed takes up and in. Count goes full. Ominous clouds floating through the sky. We should be okay if the weather folks are to be believed. Ran into a few drops on my way here. As Reed swings at ball 4, misses. He is down on strikes. That is the first strikeout of the game for Alex Pock. And 2 down for Adam Tomer. Into a double play in the second, right before Aston Valley loaded the bases. Swings at the first pitch. And misses, 0-1. Tomer followed by Jacob Cantor. Should he get aboard? Tops that one foul. Tomer was coaching third base last Friday night with a wrap on his left hand. Does not seem to be an issue for him tonight. Swung on and missed. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Alex Pock. And that will retire the side. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. They leave 2. 3 in the books. It's 8-0 Wayne on top. Corey Burns on the mound for Aston Valley here in the fourth. Gets called strike into Nick Mullen. 8-0 Wayne on top. Mullen rips that one down the left field line. A fair ball. And over to cut it off is Tomer. Throw to second. It's a little off line. Mullen in there with a double. So Wayne picking up right where they left off. And Stephen Wells steps in. That pitch bounces right in front of home plate, catches the front of the plate, goes way up over the head of Stearns behind the plate, and heading over to third is Mullen. Pitch misses 2-0. The line on Roman Tazi tonight. 3 innings, 8 runs, all of them earned, 8 hits, 4 walks, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts rather. 3 walks, 1 of them intentional. 1 wild pitch as Burns gets one in for a strike. Be interesting to see if Alex Pop comes back out for the fourth for Wayne. Outside, 3-1. It'll be Wells followed by Luke Zimmerman. Drew Van Horn now due up for Wayne. No one gets a piece of the plate. Really, that's all you're trying to get. You don't want to get too much of it with Stephen Wells at the plate. He's going to send that ball into the stratosphere. Outside, Wells takes the walk. Luke Zimmerman, 2-run single in the first. He walked and scored in the third. First pitch swung on and fouled back. Just about an hour into this one here. Top half of the fourth inning, an 8-0 ball game. Thanks for listening. Burns misses upstairs, 2-0. Rather 1-1 after the foul ball. That's upstairs now. It's 2-1. Another one high. Zimmerman ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. Wells at first. Mullen at third. Takes high. Second walk of the game by Luke Zimmerman. And the second issued here in the fourth by Burns. Bases loaded, nobody out. Now we have another mound conference as Drew Van Horn prepares to step in. Van Horn 1 for 2 with a 2-run double. After 3 tight ball games, Wayne flexing its muscle as the top team in the Delco League this season. Looking to make no mistake and take no chances, try to put this series away tonight instead of allowing for Game 5. First pitch from Burns to Van Horn. This is outside. One's outside as well, 2-0. Nowhere to put Van Horn. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth. Infield on the edge of the grass. Bit of a slow surface here. Van Horn fouls one off. So any sort of slow roller could cause some trouble. But that grass will take something out of a chopper. Blocked by Stearns. So 3 balls and 1 strike. On the outside corner. The count is full. Mullen the runner at third, Wells at second, Zimmerman at first. The pitch bounces. No one's going to run. Everyone's going to trot. Third consecutive walk issued by Burns, an RBI for Drew Van Horn. It's 9-0. First pitch to Owen Mathis misses. He's 0 for 2 on the night. At this point, the only Wayne player in the order not to reach base. Burns gets one in for a strike. Nobody throwing in the bullpen. This is his inning to get out of.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Down and in, 2-1. It is one of the perils of having to finish Game 3 and then play, or rather finish Game 2 and play Game 3 all at once. You might end up using more arms that it might cost you in the next couple of days. That one misses downstairs. 3-1, the count to Mathis. And he takes the walk. 4 in a row now issued. And it's a 10-0 ball game. And that is going to be it for Corey Burns as a Mound Conference is underway, second of the inning. Faces 5 batters, 1 hit, 4 walks, 2 runs in. And all 3 runners on base, the responsibility of Corey Burns. The new pitcher for Aston Valley. Not really sure who that is. Nobody on the lineup card under number 8. We got 3 number 3s, but no number 8. We'll see if we can figure out who this is. We'll be right back here on DelcoLeague.com. First pitch outside the 1-0 to Matt Kane, catches the outside corner for strike one. 1-1 blown away. Still trying to figure out who this is throwing for Aston Valley right now. But he's just in there to soak up some innings. Now 3-1 as other guys get loose in the bullpen. Three-one pitch inside, ball four. Second walk for Kane. This one gets him an RBI. It is 11-0 here in the fourth. And the first pitch hits Alden Mathis. So it breaks up the string of walks. But it'll force home another run. The 12th of the game. There's a ball to Matt Briner. Still nobody out here in the fourth. They're calling strike, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Low, 3-1. There's a call and strike. Count goes full to Matt Briner. He swings, puts that one out towards shallow left. Cantor over, he will make the catch. And there's one out for Nate Sides. Sides, the ninth man to come to the plate in the fourth. He hit twice in the third. First pitch to him. Swung on, hit out towards right field. Edivane barely has to move. He'll make the catch. Runners will hold. There's two down. Nick Mullen will step back to the plate. His double led off this inning. And the 4 walks really sent this game off the rails for Aston Valley. Pitch misses inside, 1-0. Called strike to Mullen, 1-1. Checks his swing, but fouls it off. A ball and 2 strikes. Lofted into left field, but again, right at Edivane. And that will retire the side. 4 more on the board for Wayne. They do it on the benefit of 1 hit. There are no errors and the bases left loaded. We're halfway through this one. Wayne 12, Aston Valley nothing. Home half of the fourth here at Buggy Field. For the visitors from Wayne, 12 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They've left 7 for Aston Valley, no runs on 6 hits, 1 error. They've also left 7, leading off Jacob Cantor. And he will face a new pitcher, Corey Woodcock, on the mound for Wayne. The right-hander's first pitch misses outside for ball 1. 3 innings for Alex Pock, no runs, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. He did not walk anyone. A call and strike. Pock will not get the win, not throwing 4 innings in a 7-inning game. On the ground to third. Mathis scoops it up. Throw catches, forces Luke Zimmerman rather off the bag, but he's able to catch it and tag out Cantor. So a nice defensive play by the Wayne first baseman for out number 1. Dylan Everly batting from the left side. Singled his first time up. Swings and misses. Takes ball 1. Swings over a fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Takes low, 2-2. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the night for Corey Woodcock. Top of the order, Vinny Pareto. It's 1 for 1, singled and walked. Fouls one off, 0-1. Woodcock from the windup. This is upstairs. Ball and a strike to the Aston center fielder. Up and in, 2-1. Three and 1 now, the count. Cross at the belt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Vinny Pareto, 2 outs here in the 4th. Lofted out towards shallow right. Mullen, the second baseman, is over. He drops it. And Pareto is safe at first. Not an easy catch, but one that Mullen should have made. So Pareto safe at first. On the dropped fly ball. So it looks like a little bit of fog rolling in here. On the ground to the hole in the left side. Size does a great job to knock it down. The throw is not in time. That would have been an all-time web jam. If they had gotten an out on that one, an infield single for Sean Haught. The Cooper Root, 1 for 2. Now throw over to second base. It goes into center field, but Pareto had to dive back. See an umbrella or two popping up out in the outfield, or beyond the outfield, rather. I thought I felt a drop myself, so maybe not clear of the rain. It looks like fog from our vantage point. You wonder what effect that will have on this one. And pitches upstairs to Root. Runner goes, throw down to third. They tag Pareto. He is safe. That is not an easy guy to throw out. Looking at the radar here on the old trusty weather app. Nothing rolling through. Something a little to the east. But what the radar doesn't show, my eyes can see it is definitely raining here at Buggy Field. So stolen base for Pareto. And now the walk as the bases loaded. Edevane swings to the first pitch. That one's hit out to deep right center. That's going to drop over the head of Van Horn and go all the way to the fence. Pareto scores. Hot behind him. They cut the throw. It is a 3-run double for Cooper Root. It's now a 12-3 ball game. Or for Sean Edevane, rather. I hadn't yet had a chance to put the walk in for Root in the scorebook. Call and strike to Zach Stearns. All of those runs unearned. After the error by Mullen. But Stearns has a man in scoring position with 2 down. 1-1 the count. This is up and away. Chop foul towards the third base dugout. I mentioned this rain cell didn't even show up on the radar, so can't imagine it will be too much of an issue. 2-2 the count. Well short by Woodcock, so the count goes full to Stearns with Christian Reed waiting on deck. Called the Knights frisky. They're showing they're not quite out of this one just yet. As Stearns draws the walk. Second of the inning issued by Woodcock. So now Christian Reed will step in. Reed 1 for 2, singled and struck out. 8th batter to come to the plate this inning for Aston Valley as Mole heads back out to first base to run for Stearns. First pitch is chopped foul. Upstairs 1-1. On the ground, Mullen ranges to his left. He'll trot over the first, a light toss to Zimmerman for out number 3. But Aston Valley gets on the board rather. 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 walks. There was an error. They leave 2 aboard. 4 in the books for this one. It's Wayne 12, Aston Valley 3. The rain is picked up here as we get ready to start the top of the 5th. Brian Pazolski on the mound for Aston Valley. Their Game 1 starter. His first pitch bounces in the dirt outside to Stephen Wells, 1-0. Wayne on top 12-3, trying to punch their ticket back to the Delco League Championship Series. Aston Valley just got back on the scoreboard for the first time in this one. Wells rips that one to right field. That'll drop in front of Edavane. And Wells is aboard for the 3rd time tonight. Tenth hit of the game for Wayne. We've also drawn 8 walks and had a hit batter. Luke Zimmerman steps in. He's been aboard 3 times, 2 walks and a single. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Pops the first pitch up, foul. 0-1. Breaking ball inside. Low pitch in the dirt off the shin pad of Stearns. Wells will go to second. That one bounces off the front of the plate. Stearns gets to it quick. Throw down to third, though, is high. And Wells will go to third. It's the second pitch that is hit right off the front of home plate, which seems to be raised, not flush with the dirt. Zimmerman, it's a line drive through the left side for a base hit. Wells will trot home. It's an RBI single for Luke Zimmerman. 13-3 now for Wayne.
Play ball.
Drew Van Horn scored twice. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. So he fouls one off, nothing in one. He's got 3 RBIs. 2 of them on the double, 1 on the first of 3 consecutive bases loaded walks. Upstairs, 1-1. Outside. 2-1 to count to Van Horn. Owen Mathis on deck. Swung on and missed out front of an off-speed pitch. Fouls it off. Pazolski looks in for the sign. Checks the runner. 2-2 pitch. On the outside corner, called third strike. Van Horn goes down looking for out number 1. Mathis swings, fouls off the first pitch. It was fouled off. It got all the way to the mound, but it got a piece of Mathis in the batter's box, so it's a foul ball. Mathis over 2 and an RBI walk in the 4th. Takes outside. Now a called strike on a breaking ball by Pazolski. That one dropped right into center of the strike zone. A great pitch. Mathis caught looking 2 away from Matt Kane. Called strike, nothing in 1. Swung on and missed, nothing in 2. It's still raining here at Buggy Field, which I should have expected to happen because I left my jacket in the car. The dark clouds, though, causing more of an issue than the rain, I would think, as Kane fouls it off. The 0-2. On the outside corner, Brian Pazolski strikes out 3 consecutive batters. All of the looking variety for Wayne. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 through 4.5. It's 13-3. Bottom half of the fifth inning, Aiden Weitzel on to pitch for Wayne. Wayne leads at 13-3. Big right-hander takes his warm-up tosses. There's a brief conversation between innings with the umpires and the two head coaches, Mark Spiro from Aston Valley, Brian Feely from Wayne. Visibility not as good as you'd like. It's only about 25 after 7. Usually there's still a little more daylight. The clouds from this little pop-up light shower causing a problem. If you look past the left field foul pole over the Aston Fire Department, you can see there is sunlight to be had, and it would be fantastic if that could roll through here and give us a chance to finish this one. As Adam Tomer steps in, swings at the first pitch. Can't get a piece, nothing in one. It'll be Tomer, Jacob Cantor, Dylan Everly, bottom of the order for the Knights, down by 10. Checks a swing upstairs, 1-1. Remember a couple of years ago during the finals between Upper Darby and Aston Valley, looked like an alien mothership had arrived here at Buggy Field. As Tomer swings and misses, they suspended the game, and within minutes, a torrential downpour began. That was a game where Johnny Gonzalez threw a 9-inning complete game for the Blue Sox, spread out over 2 days. Swung on and missed. Tomer down on strikes for the second time. First strikeout for Weitzel. Corey Woodcock threw 1 inning. He allowed 3 runs. None of them earned. 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. First pitch to Cantor is upstairs. I mentioned Johnny Gonzalez. He is in the building, or was in the building earlier. The Blue Sox, a couple days off before the finals start. Ball ripped down the left field line. The foul. Fouled off, 1 and 2. That area of light down left field is getting bigger. Kind of hope that the clouds are moving in the right direction. See, they don't look like they're moving at all. Pitch Cantor swung on and missed, 2 away. And Dylan Everly will step in. Taken outside for a ball. This is low, 2-0. Should Everly get aboard, Vinny Pareto at the top of the order, due up. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2. Everly swings and belts that one down the left field line, foul, staying alive. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here in the 5th. Swung on and missed. Aiden Weitzel strikes out the side. 1-2-3 inning. First of the game for either side. No runs, hits, errors, none left. 5 in the books. It's 13-3 Wayne. Top half of the 6th inning, a couple of changes for Aston Valley. Christian Reed is going to move from second base to the mound. It's his first pitch to Alden Mathis is swung on and hit a long way out towards right center field. At the track, that ball is out of here. A solo home run for Alden Mathis. The extra point is up and good. It's 14-3 in favor of Wayne. Well, welcome to the mound, Christian Reed. In his stead, at second base, Jake Moole. We've seen him as a courtesy runner as Briner swings and hits that one out to right center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Moole will play second base. He'll bat in the 9th spot, replacing the designated hitter, Dylan Everly. The Knights going to a straight 9-man lineup. Imagine Reed is going to be out there for the duration. Nate Sides takes up and in. Sides a couple of singles early on, and then he flew out to right to end the 3rd and to be the second out in the 4th. Swings and misses. That one gets away. So Briner will scamper down to second on the wild pitch. Nick Mullen on deck. Up and in to Sides. 2 balls and a strike to the Wayne shortstop. Take strike 2, 2-2. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Sides goes down looking for out number 1. Good pitch by Reed. So Nick Mullen steps in. 1 for 4 on the night with a run scored. Outside 1-0. This is again 2-0. Stephen Wells due up. Reed gets that one over. 2 balls and a strike to Nick Mullen. Mullen swings and misses 2-2. Briner, the runner at second, a run in on the home run by Alden Mathis. Shot back to the mound. Reed will throw over to first. And Briner will head to third. And 2 outs for Stephen Wells. Wells 2 for 3 with a walk. An RBI, a couple of runs scored, 3 runs scored, and he rips one foul down the first base line. No balls and a strike with Luke Zimmerman on deck. Outside corner, 0-2. Poked out to center field. Leaping is Cantor. He's not going to get it. An RBI single for Stephen Wells. It's a 15-3 ball game. Luke Zimmerman swings at the first pitch. Gets a laugh from his dugout, smile on his face. It's easy to laugh when you're up 15-3. Inside, 1-1. Popped up. That'll get out of play, 1-2. Zimmerman been aboard all 4 plate appearances, 2 for 2, couple singles, couple walks. Takes on the inside corner, called third strike. Last 5 strikeouts by Aston pitching. 6 rather. All of the looking variety. 5 of them in the last 2 innings. For Wayne in the 6th, 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. They leave 1. Through 5.5, it's 15-3, Wayne leading it. Last of the 6th. It seems to have brightened up a little bit here. Top of the order, Vinny Pareto takes ball 1 from the new Wayne right-hander, Cole Peichel. A 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Weitzel as Pareto swings and misses. 1-1 the count. It'll be Pareto, Haught, and Cooper Root. Called strike on the outside corner. Swung on and missed. Pareto down on strikes, out number 1. Four straight strikeouts between Weitzel and now Peichel. So Sean Haught steps in. 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Swung on and missed. It has definitely lightened up a little bit, enough to maybe get this one in. An inside corner. It looked iffy for a while. On the ground to short, sides, charges. Throw to first. Picked by Zimmerman, 2 down. With Nate Sides at short and Luke Zimmerman at first, you're going to see a lot more infield outs than maybe you would see with another combination. Those guys are both pretty good with the glove. So Cooper Root steps in, 1 for 2. A single, a walk, and a run scored. Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. Called strike. 0-2 the count. That one's outside, 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cooper Root. Sean Edavane on deck. Outside, 3-2. Two pitch, swung on and missed. Another 1-2-3 inning, this time for Cole Peichel. 7 in a row sent down by Wayne pitching. No runs, hits, errors, none left. 6 in the books. We go to the 7th, Wayne on top, 15-3. Top half of the 7th inning. Drew Van Horn leads off for Wayne on top, 15-3. Second inning of work for Christian Reed. His first pitch is upstairs to be Van Horn, Owen Mathis, and Matt Cain. 7-8-9 for the defending champs. 2-0 the count. I'm getting the impression there may have been an agreement to play the 6th inning and call it a night, but it has lightened up significantly as Van Horn rips one foul. And I don't mean the rain is lightened up. The rain was never all that hard. I'm talking the sky literally is lighter now than it was 2 innings ago. So, decided to finish this one as we reach the 2-hour mark. Van Horn pops one, snared by Root. Great play by the first baseman. So Mathis steps in, first pitch to him, fouls it off. Swings and fouls off the 0-1, 0-2 now the count. Low and away. Another ball to Mathis, 2-2 the count. Reed from the windup, the pitch. Chop towards third. Haught has to field it on the run. The throw pulls off the bag, but again, Root's able to reach out and tag the runner, so an effectively wild throw. 2 down. So Matt Kane steps in. Fouls it off. Outside 1-1. Should Kane get aboard, Alden Mathis will come up for his 6th plate appearance of the game. On the ground to first, Cooper Root lets it roll up his arm, but fortunately for him, Christian Reed was covering. He's a busy man over there at first base. For the first time, a 1-2-3 inning for Aston Valley. No runs, hits, errors, none left. Last of the 7th, Wayne leads it by a dozen. It'll be 4, 5, 6 due up for Aston Valley in the bottom of the 7th. Sean Edevane, Zach Stearns, and Christian Reed. Down by a dozen. Brett Mutz on the mound for Wayne. The left-hander in for the 7th here. An inning for Cole Peichel. 2 strikeouts, no runs, hits, or walks allowed. That one misses. 2-0 to Edevane. Wayne 3 outs away from winning this series. 3-1. Up and in, 3-0. Saw during his warm-ups, Mutt still trying to get his arm loose. Gets that one over at the belt, 3-1. Edevane swings and misses. Count goes full. Wind up and the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 away. Catcher Zach Stearns steps in. He's only got 1 official at bat. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and walked. Swings and gets a piece. It's held on to by Kane. 0-1. takes upstairs, 1-1. Misses high, 2-1. Lofted out towards right center. Van Horn and Mathis converge. It's Van Horn for out number 2, and through the doors of the Last Chance Saloon walks the pitcher, Christian Reed. They're going to need a pile of base runners here with 2 down in the 7th. First pitch to Reed. Takes it up and in. Reed 1 for 3 with a single. Turns away from that one, ball 2. Oh, in the inner half, 2-1. Misses low, 3-1. Should Reed extend the ball game? Adam Tomer due up next. On the outside corner, 3-2. Mutz winds the pitch. Chop towards second. Mullen gloves it over to first in time. That will do it for this one. Wayne wins it 15-3. No runs, no hits, no errors for Aston Valley here in the 7th. Wayne pitching retires the final 10 batters of the ball game to win the game 15-3 and the series 3-1. For Wayne, 15 runs on 14 hits. They made 1 error, and they left 9 aboard for Aston Valley. 3 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. They also left 9. The winning pitcher, we're going to give it to Aiden Weitzel. The loss to Roman Tazi. With the win, Wayne takes the series 3-1, and they will return to the Delco League Championship Series next week for the 2nd consecutive season. They will look to defend their title against Upper Darby, a rematch of last year's Championship Series, which was a great one. It went 5. A great final game. This time a dominant Wayne side that has lost just 2 games all year, one of them in this series. We'll look to take on Upper Darby, one of the teams that got one of those wins. So this should be a good one. Next week we will bring you the broadcast of those games here on the Delco League website. So stay tuned for that schedule to be released. But until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Wayne wins it 15-3. The championship is set. Number 1 Wayne and number 2 Upper Darby. We'll see you next week.